Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers officially announced the signing of JD Martinez. We're going to grade the signing and tell you why JD took less to sign with LA. But first, for our latest Dodgers news and rumors, all off-season and all season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comments section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: what is your lineup with JD Martinez in it? And also, what grade would you give the signing? Let me know down below. And for our latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So you guys know that I've been thirsty for some JD for quite some time now, and now it's official. The Dodgers have announced the signing of JD Martinez yesterday, tweeting from their official account, "Welcome to Los Angeles," at JD Martinez 28. They posted a cool graphic of him in a Dodgers uniform. Then later they posted a little mini hype video saying "just dingers." So clearly the Dodgers are excited to have JD Martinez in LA. And I still think, even at age 35, he can still really help this team, and that this was a very good signing by the Dodgers. When you consider the fact it was a 1-year, $10 million deal, when he could have signed a multi-year deal. He could have gotten more money from other teams, possibly even the Boston Red Sox, but he doesn't go back to Beantown, and they instead signed Justin Turner on a 2-year deal worth over $20 million. And you look at this DH market, you look at last season when Nelson Cruz at over 40 got a 1-year deal at $15 million. Even Joey Gallo signed a 1-year, $11 million deal. Well, JD Martinez at $10 million, that is a potential steal. That could be a bargain for the Dodgers. Now, the big question is, why did he take less to sign with LA? Well, Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, he put out a story where he had some very interesting quotes from his agent, Scott Boras. And Ken Rosenthal writes that Martinez's agent, Scott Boras, pointed to the slugger's relationship with his former Red Sox teammate Mookie Betts and Dodgers hitting instructor Robert Van Scoyoc, who helped Martinez revamp his swing after the 2013 season. And then he had some quotes from Scott Boras, who said Dodgers president of baseball operations Andrew Friedman and Mookie were like college coaches seeking the big recruit, Boras said. JD was fully aware of the recent signings and took $6 million to $7 million below his value. He wanted to win. He wanted to optimize his ability. He felt the Dodgers were the best team to help him achieve those goals. He made them fully aware he has every intention to play well and seek his true value in the seasons ahead. So, one, this is a bet on yourself, prove it contract by JD Martinez. So that is the version you are going to get. You are going to get a hungry JD Martinez that is playing to get a bigger contract, most likely the last big contract of his career. So he's in a great spot. Also, a lot of Dodger fans out there that wanted LA to fire their hitting coaches. They wanted guys like Robert Van Scoyoc to fall on the sword for the Dodgers' lack of success in the NLDS against the Padres. Well, just having RVS on the Dodgers helped them get a JD Martinez at $6 to $7 million below market value. So keeping those hitting coaches intact helped the Dodgers get more talent this offseason. And then Mookie Betts, Mookie's relationship with JD Martinez, they of course were on that 2018 Red Sox team that would go on to win the World Series against the Dodgers. So definitely those recruiting efforts paid off, and those recruiting efforts netted the Dodgers JD Martinez. Another thing this accomplishes is it keeps Mookie Betts happy. Look, make no mistake about it, this is Mookie's franchise at this point. He is the face of this franchise. Yes, you have Clayton Kershaw. He's an absolute icon. There's no question about it. But moving forward, Mookie is the guy that signed to that 12-year, $365 million deal. And you have to keep Mookie happy. And having JD Martinez, I think, is going to help Mookie. Look, a lot of people talk about JD Martinez and how much he helps his teammates. He's basically a de facto hitting coach out there. So I think that other guys are going to benefit from just his presence in that clubhouse. Now, what are the pros and cons of the Dodgers having JD Martinez? Well, one, they now have a true designated hitter that's in the middle of that lineup that is a professional hitter. The Dodgers lack some power. They lacked a guy that had JD Martinez's ability at the plate, and they have that now. And if you look at his numbers, he's been one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball over the past 8 seasons. His bat has been 47% above league average in the last 8 seasons. His .910 OPS since 2014 is the 5th 5th highest in all of Major League Baseball among players with at least 3,000 plate appearances. And if you look at the season he had last year, he started hot and he ended hot. Definitely had a little bit of a summer swoon, but he still put up a very respectable slash line. He slashed 274, 341, 448, had a 790 OPS with 16 home runs and a 119 WRC plus. So even in a down year, his bat was 19% above league average in 139 games with the Sox. And then in 2021, he slashed 286, 349, 518 with an 867 OPS, 28 home runs, 99 RBI, and a 127 WRC plus. So he's just 1 year removed from having a really nice season, still made 2 All-Star teams. And JD also feels a big need that this Dodgers lineup has been sorely lacking, and that is a guy that can consistently mash against left-handed pitching. Yes, the Dodgers have improved in that department over the last year, but still, that has been one of their big issues, is a guy that you can trust to mash against southpaws. And when it comes to hitting lefties, JD stands for just dominate, because for his career, he has a 957 OPS versus lefties. Last season had a 998 OPS, almost 1,000 versus lefties. So he's a guy you can trust to do damage against southpaws, and that's something that this lineup desperately needed. And also a guy that can rake in the postseason, a guy that you can count on in the clutch in October on the big stage. And for his career in 30 postseason games, he has a 987 OPS with 8 home runs. So he's a guy that's proven on the big stage, and also he's a guy that really is going to solidify that designated hitter position. We know the Dodgers have rotated that position. They'd like to maintain some flexibility. Well, if you have a bat of JD Martinez's caliber, it's okay to have a guy each and every day in that position going out there and being a guy you can count on. Also, there's been a lot of talk about the dip in his power. And yes, the home run numbers have been down. Last season, he had 16 bombs in 533 at-bats, but he also had 43 doubles, and that was tied for 4th in all of Major League Baseball. So it's more just doubles than just dingers at this stage of his career. But I definitely think in LA, playing at Dodger Stadium, I definitely think that you're going to see his power numbers go up. I think he's definitely going to hit more home runs than the 16 he hit last year with the Boston Red Sox. Fangraphs right now has his projections as him slashing 252, 318, 435, hitting 22 home runs, having a 327 WOBA, a 112 WRC plus, and a 1.3 WAR. So you'll take those numbers for a guy you're giving $10 million to on a 1-year deal, and hopefully he has a great season and really puts himself in a position to get a nice contract. Because like I said earlier, you are getting a motivated JD Martinez that wants to win, that wants to get another big deal, and prove that he still is one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball. So what are the cons with JD Martinez? Well, we talked about it earlier. Yes, those power numbers have gone down a bit when you look at the home runs. He had a 16 home run season last year. That was the lowest he had in a regular season since 2013. And then also that isolated power. It dropped from 232 in 2021 to 174 last season. The slugging dropped from 518 in 2021 to 448 last year, which is still good, which is still above league average. And like we mentioned earlier, he is a doubles machine. 43 doubles last year, tied for 4th. The other thing, too, does strike out quite a bit. He's been consistent, though. His career averages around 24.2%. That's his strikeout rate, an 8.8 walk rate. And then the big one is he just provides 0 defensive value. He won't be playing defense for the Dodgers unless it's a desperate situation. He did start 35 games in the outfield in 2021. He started 28 games in left and 7 in right. And he started over 100 games in the outfield every year from 2014 to 2017. But he's not going to be that guy for the Dodgers. If the Dodgers are playing him in the outfield, there is a problem. It's a break in case of emergency situation. I think he's going to be focused primarily as their designated hitter, and that's what you're going to see. And that does definitely come as a price, because the Dodgers were using that position to get guys off their feet, to keep guys fresh, and also having Will Smith as your DH and Austin Barnes behind the plate. That's something that definitely pays dividends, because we know that pitchers love throwing to Austin Barnes. He's a great game caller. He also provides that fire, that tenacity, that passion. He's the unofficial captain of the team, some say. And then also, you saw what Will Smith was able to do in 2020. When Will Smith in the World Series, in the postseason, you saw him at DH. You saw Austin Barnes behind the plate. Well, if you have JD Martinez as the DH, well, to have Will Smith in the game, he's got to be behind the plate. So we'll see how that turns out. We know that Will Smith wants to be a catcher. He wants to be behind the plate and calling games. You want to see him continue to grow as a receiver, but I do think that is the one con that has me a little concerned if you consider how to maximize what Will Smith has, because you want his bat in the lineup at all times. But I think it's going to work out, because I think this season Will Smith is ready to take the next step as a hitter. I think he's ready to take the next step as a catcher. I think you'll see him make his first All-Star team. I think he'll be fine with this. And if you look at this Dodgers lineup with JD Martinez inserted into it, this is a very impressive lineup. To me, this is still one of the best lineups in all of Major League Baseball. I'd venture to say it's better than 90% of the lineups in Major League Baseball. You have Mookie Betts batting leadoff, playing right, Freddie Freeman batting second at first, Will Smith behind the plate in the 3-hole, Max Muncy hitting cleanup. I think this is going to be a nice year for Max Muncy. I got him batting cleanup, playing second, and then JD Martinez right in the middle of your lineup at DH in the 5-hole, and then Gavin Lux at shortstop. So right now, Gavin Lux is your starting shortstop unless the Dodgers go out there and swing a trade before opening day. Gavin Lux will be at short, and then Chris Taylor in left in the 7-hole. I think this year Chris Taylor absolutely is going to see some more time in the infield. There's no question about that. You could see him playing some center, so I think he's going to get back to being that Chris Army knife, playing multiple positions, showing his true value. And he's another guy like Muncy who the Dodgers need to have a nice bounce back season, because the strikeouts were way up, the production was down. We saw in 2021 in his contract season, he made the All-Star team. He had the big home run against the Cardinals in the wild card game. He had the 3-home run game against the Braves in the NLCS. So CT3 has to get back to being one of the Dodgers' better players next season. That's going to help a lot. And then following Chris Taylor is Miguel Vargas at the hot corner batting 8th. So Miguel Vargas, lots of hype. We're going to see if he can live up to it and grow into being one of the Dodgers' core players for the future. And then 9th, who's that going to be? Is it going to be Trace Thompson in center field? Is it going to be James Outman in center field? Will the Dodgers go out there and make a trade for a center fielder? Could they get a Brian Reynolds? If they get Brian Reynolds, of course, he'll be batting higher in the lineup. If they get Brian Reynolds, it's a Reynolds wrap. This lineup goes to a whole nother stratosphere, and they're in the conversation with the best lineup in baseball, in my opinion. But I think this lineup, if you look at it, they're still one of the best in the game. And the Dodgers, they did DFA Jake Reed, who they acquired off waivers on November 18th from the Boston Red Sox, and he's DFA. We saw him get his first career save back on August 30th against the Mets. So I told you that when they were going to have to DFA someone, he was the guy that was going to go. But for me, for my grade of the JD Martinez signing right now, I'm going to give it a B+. I love the signing on a 1-year, $10 million deal, but give me your grade down below. Give me your Dodgers lineup right now. Let me know down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors all year long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.